All right, so this is going to be our first RStudio video in Unit 3. So we're going to upload the college football data. So go under the top. I'm going to rename it football. So that brings up my data. And most of these notes are actually review. There's just some content that we just need to review real quick. So we're going to make a histogram of the games and points variable to determine which histogram is normal. So remember, to make a histogram, we do HIST, hist, and then it's data set, money sign, variable, and games is G. My data set is football. So there's the games variable. And then points is PTS. So if we look at the games variable, hopefully we realize that is not normal, right? That is skewed to the right. And then the points variable, that looks pretty normal to me, okay? So it's not perfect, but that is approximately normal for points. And then games is definitely right skewed. So if we want to determine which one is normal, points is normal. So find the measure of center. So for the variable we chose above. So we said that points variable is normal. So the appropriate measure of center for normal histograms is mean. So we want to find the mean, and then remember inside mean is also data set, money sign, variable. And the mean pops up in the bottom left down here, so the mean is 28.686. So remember, the appropriate measure of center for a normal distribution is mean. The appropriate measure of spread for a normal distribution is standard deviation. And inside standard deviation is data set, money sign, points. Data set, money sign, variable. So if you notice histogram, mean, and standard deviation, what goes inside the parentheses is the same for all of them. Okay, so it's data set, money sign, variable. And the standard deviation down here we see 6.937. So all of that is just review. I just want to let you know we're going to make multiple histograms. We're going to find the normal one, and then we're going to find the mean and standard deviation of the normal variable. So here is the new part. We're going to use the Shiny app to find the z-score of the 70th percentile. Okay? Yeah. So if you look down here in the Files button, you hit Files in the bottom right. You hit the Files, and you see there's a folder called Shiny Apps. So we're going to open up the Shiny Apps folder. And then this is the first lesson of Chapter 3, so it's lesson 3.2. And then it pulls up all this messy stuff. You don't need to look or change any of this. Absolutely don't delete anything in the Shiny app, but we are going to hit Run App up here in the top right. And then you got to wait a second. And then it pulls up all this stuff, so we can adjust probability or adjust z-score. Leave it on probability. And then we can do one tail upper, lower, or two tail. Just leave it on one tail upper for now. And then we can either type it in or we can use the slider. Okay, and just slide to what we want, whichever one you want. So we're going to go back to the question for a second. So the question says, use the Shiny app to find the z-score of the 70th percentile. So remember, if we are the 70th percentile, that means the probability or proportion is 0.7, right? If you're in the 70th percentile, that means the probability is 0.7. Now actually one tail upper is backwards, right? We want one tail lower. This is our normal distribution, is one tail lower. So one tail lower, if you're in the 70th percentile, the z-score is 0.52. Okay? And ignore that it says less than. So it's z is 0.52, and then it'll tell you to round it 2 places or 3 places or whatever you need to do. All right, so that's how the Shiny app works. You can just slide this back and forth whatever you want. We can change this to upper, just means it's shading the greater than part. Lower means it's shading the less than part. And one tail lower is what we're used to when we use the Z table. And then if you don't like the slider and you just want to type in, 0.7, you can do that too.